Hey everyone, it's your good friend Wendy, and you're listening to the Reaching Out with Reach podcast, the show that brings you discussions and topics surrounding community, prevention, and recovery. On today's episode, we have our very own Brandy and Santana for some tobacco myth busting.
Welcome back to the podcast. It's the TPC Mythbusters. You're here with Santana and
Brandy.
And today, just like we said, we're going to be discussing the myths and facts about nicotine, vaping, all of the things. All right, Brandy. So we're going to kind of jump in here. I know one myth that we've heard, which is crazy, is vaping helps people quit smoking. And you know what? How about we were at an event and a lady actually said, oh, I quit smoking tobacco. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. Now I vape. And then I had to be like, oh, so we're using it as an alternative. What do you think? Tell me about it.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up. I actually talked to my doctor, who is no longer my doctor, but he told me that he literally tells his patients that need to quit smoking to start vaping. And I was mind blown. He told me that he wanted to know some information about propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin, which are the two derivatives that are used in vapes to deliver the nicotine. But the problem is, it doesn't matter what they're using to deliver it. It's still something that is not meant to be in our lungs. In addition to vapes being full of things like weed killer and nail polish remover and formaldehyde. And go ahead and tell us, Santana, what do they use formaldehyde for?
Do we all... Have we taken a science class? Have we taken a science class and, you had your frog that you were going to dissect and it was in there just preserving it?
Exactly.
So why would you put it in your lungs?
Exactly. Nothing is meant to be in our lungs other than air. So anytime I hear anything, much less it coming from a doctor who is no longer my doctor, saying those kinds of things, it's just scary because the next myth that I want to talk about is that vaping is completely safe. And the problem is we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen to the people that are vaping in 20 years. This generation of vapors are the guinea pigs. So we have actually Dr. Rao is a pediatric pulmonologist in Midlothian, and she is one of our board members. She actually told us that she doesn't have enough room in her practice to see kids that have things like asthma or reactive airway diseases, things like that, because she's got so many youth that are in there for vaping. And she said it's going to be mind-boggling in 20 years to see these kids grow up and what kind of issues they have.
And that's very scary. And that's very sad because we definitely shouldn't be guinea pigs for these things. And we all know, most of these things it's a money game. And so that's why we're out here. But our kids, our youth are just curious. That's the real thing about it. They're curious. We use a lot of things, which we'll kind of talk about probably a little bit later, but they use a lot of things to be attractive just for them. And it's really been going on a long time, which is really a scary thing to really think about. And so like you were saying, the effects of vaping are really unknown. We don't even know, but we're using something that we have no clue about. And why do we not think before we even use it? The one thing that, I want to kind of push out that you said was that our lungs are not designed for anything but air. That's it. Nothing else. If you drink something, it goes down the wrong way, and that's pretty much you get strangled. So what would make you think something else would be completely safe? And the crazy thing is, I think I'm going to post it to our socials, but a doctor, he was on and he was like, I'm just going to be honest, we have to quit, vaping, the smoking, and when you quit, you need to detox because all of those chemicals and all of those things are in your body. And it goes into your bloodstream. It's in your skin. It's all over you. And, that's really crazy. I'll kind of tell a personal story because it's kind of like growing up. My mama was a smoker. And I mean smoker, not she smoked a little bit, put it out. She was doing her thing with it. And I could, now that I hear because he's my husband, we started dating in high school, and it's so funny. And I thought about this story before we got ready to do this, and I was like, right now, I really don't know if I should be shamed about it, or it's kind of like, wow. So he's like, I had this little coat, and he tells the story so vivid because he can remember my coat. He was like, yeah, I used to love you in the little smoky coat. And I'm like, that's really crazy because, that's really a vague, a really deep memory. It's not vague for him. It's a deep memory because of the smoke that was in it. He can really think back and recall this coat down to the T, like what it looked like and definitely what it smelled like, which is kind of embarrassing. But,
well, to play off that, do you know how long the vapor that's exhaled from a vape can stay on surfaces?
oh my, when I learned that, and everybody's guess was like, oh, 2 months, 2 days. But in reality, go tell them, Brandy, it's what?
It's up to 6 months. So just imagine all those people that you see driving around vaping in their vehicles.
Every day.
Imagine the layer of toxic chemicals in addition to nicotine that are just chilling on the surface inside their car. It's disgusting.
And if you get in, then hey, you get exposed to that too because it's still inside of that car.
Yes, and that's one of the biggest things that we're working on with our TPC grant. We are currently focusing on Burleson and Midlothian to increase their smoke-free air ordinance to include the e-cigarettes so that we can protect people, because I know that we've all seen it. We've been at a restaurant, we've been out at a public place, and you hear or see somebody vaping because they're very loud. Have you noticed how loud they are? When somebody inhales, it makes a weird sound. But then you see this plume of, strawberry cheesecake scented smoke. And once you realize how incredibly toxic that is for you, it's scary.
Because that's another myth. You don't have to worry about secondhand vapor.
Yeah, no, that is a complete myth. Complete myth. Even second and third hand vapor is still the same exact chemicals. So like I said, somebody is inhaling formaldehyde, weed killer, nail polish remover, etc., and they're also blowing that out on you. So it's harmful for our children. It's harmful for our pets. It's not safe at all.
Oh, this is like unpacking so much. I feel like we're going on a trip. We are unpacking some things here, and I just want us to know, because we really don't pay attention to these things. It's just like, we'll sold something and we just go on, and even with the secondhand, because the deal about it is, the myth is that vaping is just what?
Water vapor. And it's not, like I said, the same toxic chemicals that those people are inhaling are the exact same toxic chemicals that they are exhaling. I've seen people do it at the movies. I've seen people do it in restaurants. I've seen people do it at sports facilities, everywhere. Because I feel like the media has done such a good job at marketing this to our youth, to our adults that need to quit smoking as a quote unquote safer alternative. And that's just completely untrue.
And the reality of it is, okay, so the myth is that the flavored vapes are harmless. And just to bring it up before we dive deeper into about the flavored things, but to be real, like nicotine, tobacco, all of these things in that industry have been marketed to us forever. And I think I had this we talked about this like recently when I can remember growing up as a kid, and back then we just, it's fun, it's cool, it's whatever. But I can remember things such as my cousins watching them pick up my auntie cigarette butts, pulling on, she threw it out, they ain't put it out, and they thinking that. But even outside of them seeing somebody doing it, we had the media and, we had candy cigarettes, we got the gum cigarettes, the Big League, all of these things to like mimic the things. And it's really a tool to get you to be like, hey, when I get, old enough, and the smoking, the little gum ones were my favorite, to pull in and blow out the little smoke. And I can't stand smoke to this day, which is funny. But I mean, back then when I really thought about the fact that I had been marketed to from a kid, that's really scary.
Well, and it's scary too, because right now they're marketing to our kids. I believe it's 98% of the teens ages 13 to 17 that were polled said that they were more likely to choose a flavor that had the word ice in it. And if you stop and think about being in the store and seeing all the different vape flavors, blueberry ice, watermelon ice, blackberry ice, anything with the word ice in it is more likely to be chosen by a teen. And that's one of the things that we're hoping they work on. They've done a really good job at limiting that. Menthol is going to be the next flavor that they attack.
And the thing about it is we just got to stay on top of it. It's so much out here for our kids, so much being marketed to them. And, you know, our kids are doing, our parents are doing it. So, you know, a lot of times we got to really be the example to, you know, show up for them. But to really like stand in that gap and stay ahead, it's so many things that are coming out. I feel like now every time I look around as the tobacco prevention coalition coordinator, I'm starting to see so many things over and over. Like I saw the volcano bag and I'm like, what is this? And I had never seen that before, but just seeing it and watching her inhale it was like, oh, it like to cut my breath off. I went right then to look at it.
Well, hey, do you know why they put menthol in cigarettes? Do you know what the original purpose was for?
Oh, go on and enlighten me.
It's cooling to your throat so that it doesn't hurt as much. So we know that you smoking a cigarette is going to hurt, and we know that you inhaling vapor is going to hurt your lungs. So we're going to give you this flavor that's essentially going to mask the pain.
You know, it's like having, like, you know, when you get sick, and I know, like, my grandma, like, I grew up old school, old fashioned, and so a lot of remedies were a thing. And I can remember, like, if they made, like, you know, homemade cough syrup or all of these things, I still do them to this day. I make me a tonic, throw me some, you know, peppermint in there because it's got what?
Menthol.
Exactly.
So when you have a sore throat, yes.
Oh, gosh.
But again, it's not meant to be in our lungs. The only thing that our lungs are designed to process is air. Air in, air out, period, end of story.
We're going to have to make us something that say all your lungs deserve is air. Like, we're going to have to make shirts. We're going to have to start wearing them and just be like, look, hold up. Like, this is all you need right here. And I mean, it's just scary times because, like you said, we're limited on the research, but as we've all seen in so many cases, not just with nicotine, but this is our focus, but so many things later in life, they have had a negative effect. So why would you want to be a guinea pig to try this? Well,
and they're cheaper too. The price point of a vape is between typically $10 to $15. The ultimate problem, what I see as an ultimate problem, is with a cigarette, you get 20 cigarettes in one pack and you've got to light that cigarette, smoke that cigarette, and then you're done. And most adults will take a break between cigarettes. They're not going to sit there. Some do chain smoke, you know, one after the other, but most people are going to make a pack of cigarettes last half a day, a whole day, etc. With a vape, the fact that they can do it inside of an office building, inside a movie theater, really just about anywhere, there's no stop and start to that. So
they don't even work without vaping. Like people that really vape, like, you know,
they will go through a 5,000 puff vape in about 6 days, which is equivalent to 37.5 packs of cigarettes in 6 days.
That's a number to blow your mind. Did you hear?
That is.
Can you repeat that for somebody that missed it?
A 5,000 puff vape is typically consumed in about 6 days. And when you break that down, the tobacco to cigarette ratio in a vape versus a pack of regular cigarettes, it ends up being about 37.5 packs of cigarettes that person would have consumed in 6 days.
So you're smoking 40 packs of cigarettes, basically. That is crazy.
That is just wild to me. But it's the fact that there's no stop and start. They can do it just... I've seen people in a restaurant eating dinner and taking a puff off of a vape in between bites. It's that bad.
Yeah. And that's crazy. But this is a reality, and that's why we're here to talk about these myths versus the facts, because we really need to know what we're doing, because sometimes we really don't know this. Like, we don't know this about it unless somebody's telling you. I think I've been sharing a lot with my son because he's in college, and, you know, he's saying, you know, everybody vapes. And I'm saying, yeah, I know. I want you to be able to share some of these things because, you know, we know in reality, everybody is not doing it, but in reality, it's still a lot of people, too many people, to be honest. So, you know, we want to just clear this up. You know, anyways, look, one thing we need to share, we got to share our ways for them to, you know, get help. Or can you share information about the Quit Line, Brandy? I know, you know, like that. What can they get if they, you know, looking for ways to quit? We can kind of tell them what we got. We know we got quit kits in like Johnson and Ellis County for youth that are, you know, in high schools.
One of the easiest things now is Texas is actually standing behind the people that do legitimately want to quit. They are helping. The Texas Tobacco Quit Line will provide cessation materials for up to 8 weeks. So if you choose lozenges, you can choose gum, you can choose nicotine patches. You'll also get a five session course with a personal, like a one-on-one coach. And you can do those over Zoom. You can do that over the phone. You can do that via text, whatever you're comfortable with. We've got a separate quit line for Asians. We've got a separate quit line for pregnant and postpartum mothers. There are so many things out there to help you quit if you truly want to quit. I wanted to say, reach out to us. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. We are Reach for Tobacco Nicotine-Free Youth. Yeah. Sorry. And like I said, we've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, and we post the quit lines once a week. So if you've got any questions, reach out to us. We've also got our quit lines and quit kits. So quit kits are going to contain things that are designed to help you take your mind off of it. Cinnamon gum is good for helping a craving. We've got anxiety necklaces. There's an anxiety ring in there. We've got several tips, crunchy snacks when a craving hits, things like that to help you.
It's all of the things. So if you need any of that, definitely reach out, like she said. But again, we thank you for joining us just for this podcast on, the myth versus fact. We hope you learned something. Just let us know which was mind-boggling to you. What did you learn new? Or what's something that you're, interested in learning more about? And maybe we'll be able to do another podcast in the future and give you a little bit more details. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Wow, that was a lot of great information. Thanks for debunking some of those myths. Well, that about wraps up our episode. As always, if you're wondering how you can help, you can join our coalition meetings, or you can support our youth and family programs with a tax-deductible donation or food gift card. For more information, you can email us at info@reachcouncil.org. That's info@reachcouncil.org, or you can find us on social media. Thanks for listening to our show. Stay tuned for ongoing monthly podcasts from our Reach teams on all things prevention and recovery. So remember, life is full of choices, so choose happy and choose healthy. Bye.